3 signs you need to dump your lender. That's right, 3 signs. Okay, so first of all, I am a lender. I'm licensed in 48 states to do loans. The first thing I'm going to tell you before we get into these 3 things is you guys can save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of pain by doing one simple task. Are you ready? And I'm going to use myself as an example. So let's say that a real estate agent says to you, hey, you should use my favorite lender, Jennifer Beeston, okay? And you're like, okay, that sounds cool. Before you even call that lender that your real estate agent just recommended, you're going to do this. Are you guys ready? Get your phone open, get something else open. You're going to go to Google. That's right. Jennifer Beeston, Coral Springs, lender reviews. That's right. You need to check the lender's reviews. I cannot say this enough. Most of the times when someone's calling me about a lender that's problematic, I look them up and they have 0 reviews. 0, okay? So look, it's really hard in this industry to have 0 reviews. Either you're a ghost that doesn't do a lot of business, or you're not good enough that anyone ever wants to say something nice about you. Both of those are not good for you, the buyer, because remember, the lender works for you. So who do you want working for you? A ghost or someone who's so like, no one's ever written anything nice? Or do you want the lender where you have all of this reference material of how they do business? Okay, so you're gonna go and see if they have reviews. If there's no reviews, I don't care what your real estate agent says, they might just be cocktail buddies, toss them out. Just toss them out. And if you go, well, Jen, I looked up the company they work for, guys, it does not matter the company that someone works for. It matters who the person who's signing the name on your loan application is. It's the Jennifer Beeston that's going to be helping you. That is who matters, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, I work at Guaranteed Rate Mortgage. We're one of the 10 largest mortgage companies in the country. There are some of the best loan officers in the country there, like proven, ranked, all of it. But there's some crappy ones too. I'm sorry, it's true. There are, right? It doesn't matter how great a company is. They're going to have thousands of loan officers. Some are good, some are bad. So don't look by the company, look by the loan officer. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the 3 signs, okay? Number 1, they make you feel bad about yourself. Yes. Now, let's talk about this. Money, debt, all of that has a lot of emotional baggage to it with many people, right? You know, up until my 30s, I had so much emotional baggage around money, guys. I can't even tell you. You know, went through the whole bad credit thing, was totally ashamed and embarrassed. Like, I remember the first time I went to get a car loan, the guy was so mean and it was so unnecessary because it's like, I knew I didn't have great credit, but like, do you need your face rubbed in it? No. Okay. And there's some lenders, even if you have good credit, even if you have money in the bank, even if, they make you feel lesser than, okay? And sometimes we will see, you know, one of my friends was telling me this story about how, you know, she had a client, they were buying in another state, and the real estate agent said, no, you have to use my lender, you know, don't use my friend. And so the buyer was like, okay, I'll talk to that lender. And it was a gentleman, and, you know, he saw her pay stubs and he literally said to her, well, little lady, you do all that on your own? And she was like, wow, I'm out. And she went back to my friend. You know, sometimes you're going to have people who talk down to you or who treat you like, you know, crap. Okay. And sometimes they do this big banker ego thing where they're like, well, I'm the banker, I'm the lender, so you better respect me. Okay, guys, that's like a red flag. I can't tell you. Don't work with lenders that make you feel like crap. Life is too short and it's not necessary. If your credit's not great, okay, let's see what we can do with what you have. And if we can't do anything, we'll say, call Ken, get it fixed, or do this, do that. You know, it doesn't need to be a soul-crushing experience. Also, you know, ladies, if you're getting mansplained, you don't need to put up with that. Okay, period. I can't stress it enough. And sometimes, you know, people are just rude. So I would watch out for that. You know, if a lender's making you feel bad about yourself, if you're not comfortable asking them questions because you feel like they'll think you're stupid, that's another red flag. Okay. Now, look, if you guys are like, oh God, I have questions, but I don't even know who to ask them. I do have a calendar link in all of my videos. If you guys watch my videos, you know this. I have Sandy and Alyssa every single day. I pay them, guys, so that they will answer every single question you have, whether you're working with us or not. Like, we can't talk about what other lenders are doing. If you're like, well, my lender said this, you know, some of it we can, but like, you know, to some extent, it's like if you have basic questions, they're there to answer it. So you never want anyone to make you feel lesser than or stupid. That's number one. Number two, they don't call you back and they're not responsive. So let's set some realistic expectations. Should they call you back within 10 minutes? No. If you're working with a good lender who's busy, they're not going to call you back within 10 minutes. But they or someone on their team are going to call you back same day. And if you're writing an offer, they're generally going to be getting back to you within 2 hours at the latest. Like with my clients, I always say, please text me if you're writing an offer, tell Jen, tell Sam, because we want to make sure we get that letter to you as quickly as possible, because there's no way you're going to get into a house. There's a lot of hand signals here. If we're dilly-dallying, okay? And if you're like, oh, it took my lender 3 days. Guys, your lender is out of the game and you should dump them now. There is no reason it should take a lender 3 days to get you a letter if you're already approved, okay? Now look, if you're like, well, I filled out the application 3 days ago and I just gave them my docs 20 minutes ago, that's not fair. I'm talking about if you're fully pre-approved by this lender and they are ghosting you, that's a problem, okay? Now, let's say you filled out an application and you've left them 5 voicemails and you've sent them 4 emails and they haven't returned your correspondence. Dump them. Dump them. Guys, you need to remember, like, look, there's no reason if someone called me 5 times and left a message, that's important, because sometimes I'll get like the rare, I don't want to say psychopath, but I'll get someone who calls me like 9 times in a row. And I literally see it coming up on my phone and I'm like, I'm on another call. Like, you know, I'm still on the phone, right? Like, please leave a message and someone from the team will get back to you quick. But the key to all of this is that, look, your lender should be getting back to you same day at the latest, okay? At the latest. Now, if you're thinking about buying a house in the future and it's the weekend, I think Monday's fair. Okay, if you're writing an offer on the weekend, like a lot of people are surprised by this, but on the weekends, I'm the person. It's me. So if my clients text me on the weekend, and I always prefer text over phone just because I feel like AT&T with the voicemails, like sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. So I like text because I can always see it there. I'm the one that does the letters. You know, I might be at Target for an hour or so, but if it's a Saturday, I make sure I get back and I get them a letter, because as a lender, it's my job to help you get in a house. Okay, so you need your lender to be responsive. And if you go, well, I think they're just too busy. Guys, I am one of the busiest lenders in the country. Seriously, for real. And my team and myself get back to people. So if they're like, well, I do so much business, well, they need to hire more staff then. It's that simple. But you shouldn't be the one that's punished by their lack of either efficiency, follow-up, or follow-through. And I just want you guys to know, a lot of times we'll have people call us and they'll be like, yeah, this lender, they're just not getting back to me. It's been months. I've been trying to get pre-approved, but like I'll email them and they just don't respond. And I'll look up the lender. They do no business. They do like 3 deals a month. There's no reason they're not getting back to you except for the fact that they're not good at their job. So that's a red flag. I'm going to have more than 3. Oh no. The third one's lack of transparency. Really important. So if someone's giving you a pre-approval letter, they should be talking to you about rates and they should be giving you a loan summary. So with the way that my team works, okay, and there's different paths, but basically, let's say your application comes in, we get it structured. If it's super clean, you get a letter and a loan summary, and then we're generally underwriting it, but they're getting you on my calendar so that I can go through that loan summary with you line by line by line by line. But it's never like my team's just sending a letter and being like, best of luck. What? You know, and sometimes people are getting pre-approval letters that don't even have rates. So they're like, okay, I'm pre-approved for 400, but they don't know the payment. They don't know the rate. They don't know what to bring into closing costs. They don't even know if they have a down payment. They know nothing. The lender just gave them a letter and was like, go shopping. that's not good. You know, with every single client, once they're fully underwritten, because I do like a fully underwritten pre-approval, if you guys have watched my other videos, I spend 20 to 30 minutes myself on the phone going through line by line. Here, how do you feel about this payment? Are you comfortable? Let's talk about your debt to income. I want to talk about what the underwriter said about you. Tell me what's going on with your real estate agent. This is what lenders should be doing. Okay, it's that simple. There's no excuse not to have these conversations. For you guys to be educated and empowered buyers, you need to have these conversations about your debt to income, about what to expect with payment, about what the variables with payment are, right? Because a lot of times people go, oh, the lender said it would be like $2,200. Okay, is that the principal and interest? Does that include taxes and insurance? Is there mortgage insurance? How does that break down? Are they charging you anything for that rate? You know, of course that rate's probably not locked. You know, what are the parameters of all of this? How does all the money work? You know, and we see a lot of lenders who have a lack of transparency for two reasons. Number one, well, probably three. Number one, they don't know better. They were never taught that people need to have this information. They think their job is just to issue a letter and then wait till you come back, and that you should be educated enough that you should know all this. I know that it's like, as a first-time home buyer, there's no way you guys are going to know all this. Even as a second or third buyer, you're not going to know this stuff unless someone, a lender, went through all of this with you at some point. It's not something you're taught in school. Number two, you know, and I've talked to other lenders about this, and they'll go, you're crazy, Jen. And I'll be like, why? They're like, you're giving them rates, you're giving them something to shop you with. And I'm like, guys, if they want to shop, it's their right. And look, the rates aren't locked. And I talk to everyone about how these loan summaries work, what my actual fee is, what other parties' fees are. So at least if my buyers shop me, they're doing it in an educated way, okay? And the third one, once again, they do not want that rate on the pre-approval because they think you're going to shop them off of it. Now, guys, do they have some realistic concerns there? They do. They do. And here's why. Your rate on a pre-approval is not locked. It's very rare that it would be. So if you take a pre-approval from lender A, and it was on July 8th, and then you're talking to lender B on August 1st, and you're comparing the rate on the pre-approvals, you are shopping wrong. Right? Those rates aren't locked. They're not from the same day. It's not an apples to apples comparison. It's like comparing a banana to a pear that's been sitting in the fridge for 2 months. What? It doesn't make sense, right? So that's what their concern is and why they don't do it. But there should be a conversation. You know, that's the thing. Lenders make good money. It's true. And the least we can do in order to earn our keep is educate you guys and make sure you're comfortable with the payment, make sure you're comfortable with the closing costs. Okay? It's that simple. And the thing is this, I always tell my buyers, guys, if your offer doesn't get accepted, ask to be in second position. The reason I say that is because the number one reason people cancel once they get in contract, meaning the sellers accept their offer and then the buyers cancel, is because they weren't prepared for what the rate was, the payment would be, or closing costs. Yeah, that's the number one reason people cancel. And it's all avoidable if your lender does these steps up front. Okay? It's that simple. So the last one I'm just going to throw in there, and I've got a lot of videos on this. I could probably keep on going for days. You know, look, like my veterans especially, guys, you need to watch out for people who don't know VA. Like, regardless of your loan type, all of you need to make sure you're working with someone that actually knows guidelines. It's rarer than you think. But the other real big red flag to me that I would tell you guys is if they talk to your real estate agent more than they talk to you. Yeah, so if you find out that you're pre-approved because the realtor says you can go shopping now and the lender didn't talk to you, it's a red flag, okay? A lot of real estate agents and lenders have really tight relationships, and sometimes it's a benefit, but I think sometimes the water gets really muddy because the lender thinks they work for the real estate agent. But the thing is, guys, we work for you. We work for you. Your lender should be communicating with you. If your real estate agent's collecting your loan docs and they're having all these conversations and you just trust them, you are setting yourself up to be taken for a fool. So the lender needs to be communicating with you. And if they don't have time to communicate with you and they'll only communicate with the real estate agent, once again, dump them. If you get anything from this video, and I know it's long, but if you get anything from this video, I want you to know that regardless of your financial situation, you should be treated with respect, okay? Now, if you're yelling at people and you're trying to commit fraud and you're a nuisance, you know, you might get someone who gets terse with you. I get terse with people when they're trying to commit fraud. I don't play that game, right? But if you're like, I just don't have a ton of money or I'm a little unsure of this, you know, I see so many people where I'm like, you qualify, like this is good, we're gonna get there. And I get so excited about it. And they've just been smacked so hard by just other people who are just mean. And that's not the way it should be, okay? Here's the thing, guys. We work for you. So please remember that for all the crazy people who want to commit fraud, this does not mean I'm going to be nice to you, but for everyone who's scared about like, I don't want a lender to be mean to me, I'm a little embarrassed about this or that, guys, we will take great care of you. Don't be embarrassed. I promise. It's not going to be bad. I've been exactly where you have. If you had terrible credit, I was there in my 20s. It was, I know every emotion you're going through. So look, guys, just a quick video, probably like 15 minutes long. Anything you need, reach out. Remember, book a time on the calendar. Sandy and Alyssa do that all day, every day. That's it. That's all they do. They answer your questions. Give me a call. Okay, generally Sandy calls back during the day just because I'm on the phone a lot. If it's a special situation, you just say Beeston only and I'll be the one that calls you back. Shoot a text. You guys have my cell phone number. This is not hard. And if you're like, I'm ready to get pre-approved, fill out the application. The team will start working on it. But I hope that you guys don't end up in a toxic lending situation, and I hope that these red flags help you. Thanks.